Are you afraid of your own darkness? A place you're afraid to embrace and get lost in? A confusing maze and blind spot? Do your heels move determined to overstand codes to get feet firm on cobblestones? Do your feet relax for the devil's snare to ease itself, or do you grow frantic, reluctant to meditate, welcoming the idea of being swallowed up by what lays in darkness? But the light's so near, facial hair softly singed by the heat of the light behind the veil and thick wooden doors. The walls close in. She struggles to breathe, heart racing in the pulpits of her chest, her ribcage mirroring the tangled mess she got herself into. Voices echoed, chanting for her to meditate. She heaves over the folds of her clothes covered in dust. Her sneezes shake her. A sudden pause. She told herself she wouldn't visit this maze again. It was overbearing, overpowering. She told herself she was a powerful being. She remembered. She felt the walls around her, latching onto cemented bricks, and began to lift herself, climbing, feeling her footing with tree roots brushing past her ankles. She began to focus, the chanting growing distant and her inner voice speaking clearly to her. She finally overstood. The sudden ray of light almost threw her off her balance, regaining composure. She embraced the light by holding onto its fingers, then its wrist, its hand, its shoulders, lifting herself onto its back. She felt light. She no longer felt the earth filling her toenails or her fingertips bleeding from her tight grip on the wall she climbed. She began to recognize her own greatness. She'd bled too long. Her cuts began to sizzle and scab up. She looked up and smiled with relief, for she began to heal.
Some of us are better communicators than others, and we're all trying to find a way for us to be able to communicate our feelings, our thoughts better. Because a lot of the time people may like raise their temper a lot because they're not able to communicate certain things, or people they've not had the blessing, or they've not been blessed as yet to be able to understand their own ego and other elements within themselves. So I think whilst we're learning about ourselves, like, it's important to share that so somebody else may be able to benefit.